Hello everybody, it's Joe here and welcome to the F1 24 Equal Car Championship. We are now at Singapore, round 5 of 18, and this is the Singapore Grand Prix. So as per usual, it's a 100% race with a 100% sprint, and all cars are set to equal. So last time out in Jeddah, our sprint race was a disaster, and our feature race even more so, as we didn't even make it to the end. But we have the threat of rain in this sprint, and Singapore is a very difficult circuit. This is going to be a race of endurance, and 62 laps, it's going to take a while. So let's get the sprint race underway first.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Things have changed slightly around the Marina Bay circuit. 4 corners have been taken out. The lap length reduced to just over 3 miles. That might be a welcome relief to the drivers, might be even more of a relief for their brakes. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. It's Sergio Perez on pole today, and a very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Norris, Verstappen, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Ricciardo, Russell, Joe, Hulkenberg, the owner driver, Albon, Magnussen, Ocon, Bottas, Kobayashi, Gasly, and Logan Sargent. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out.
So in terms of starting position on the grid, it's not so bad. We're in 15th place. And that's obviously where we'll be for the Grand Prix. And we do have a threat of rain at the end of the sprint. So it's not too bad a starting position. We just want to try and avoid incidents as much as possible and maximise whatever points we can get. I do feel like the championship at this stage is very much out of reach. Verstappen very much having the momentum at the moment. And he's got quite a bit of a gap to us on points. So I'm changing my focus a little bit here. And I'm not focusing on the championship. Instead, just going into every race, taking as many points as we can out of it. Right, let's get this underway. 21 laps of a sprint race at Singapore. It feels so wrong to be racing during the day here. But we are underway for the sprint race, and you know what? That seems like quite a decent start. It looks like Lance Stroll didn't get away very well in front of us. I'm trying not to go into it. I'm trying not to go into the Sauber that is just on my left there. And we've still got that Sauber on the left, that Zhou Guanyu. And again, I'm just trying not to hit him, He's still alongside. So I'm just trying to have that little bit of spatial awareness here. And Zhou's through, no doubt about that. Zhou has got through. Up my inside as well is Hulkenberg. Oh, it's our rival. If someone's hitting us, usually it's Hulkenberg. Down the inside of Zhou here. Will we pull that off? Will that work? Not quite. Zhou has the place. And I'm trying to avoid hitting walls. This really does feel weird, racing this circuit in daylight settings. Normally it's night time that we race around here. And it just feels so alien to see the circuit in the day, as we now have to make a very late lunge at Zhou Guanyu to stop ourselves hitting him. But that could end up working. Oh no, he's forcing me off the circuit there. And now he's braked in front of me, which almost allowed Hulkenberg to run up the outside. I'm saying no to that. Zhou Guanyu getting very feisty in the early stages of this sprint. We've got 20 laps to go then. We are up a place, so we're up into P14. Sergio Perez leading the way in this sprint. And Perez seems to do quite well in these sprints, doesn't he? Right, getting ever closer to Zhou. Are we going to be able to have a look down the inside? Well, that'd be a very brave Sen to go for it there, so I've decided against it. And I am just trying to pull that little bit clear of Hulkenberg. Lap 2 of 21. Long way to go in this sprint. Do not want to be making silly mistakes early on. Zhou has DRS, so we've got a DRS train here. And this is what makes it difficult to overtake, especially around here, are the endless DRS trains. You really got to find a way to do it through strategy. But obviously in a sprint race, no strategy is applicable. So you've kind of got to trust in patience. I'm trusting in this weather that's rolling in at the end of the race. That's going to decide my course of action. At the moment, though, we are stuck behind Zhou Guanyu in the Sauber. And I'm just running my own race here at the moment. Although now we might have a look at him here. If we use a bit of extra overtake, is this going to be possible? Getting closer, but not really. So I tell you what, Stroll is starting to hold this up a little bit as well. Right, we might have a run at Zhou Guanyu here. We're setting up a run. We got a nice little run. Are we going to dive down the inside? I'm going for it. I'm just going to send it. And we managed to get past the Chinese driver. Up a place, up into P13. The fastest lap times are a 32. And this is going to be quite long. This stream is going to be a long one. I can already feel it now. Unless I crash out, in which case it will be over in about 10 minutes. But obviously we're not focusing on the main race right now. We're just focusing on this one. Focusing on our goal ahead. And our goal ahead is currently Lance Stroll and Zhou Guanyu right behind. And at the moment it's very much a case of follow the leader. And I've allowed Stroll to get a little bit ahead of me there. I think that's perhaps a little too far ahead. I want to try and reel him back in. Weather report, if we can, please.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
That's not what I said, but okay. I'm not really fussed about the weather right now, but it's when we get towards the end of this sprint that I'm more worried about the weather. I'm just worried about trying to keep up with the Canadian driver in front of me, and I'm just trying to be a little bit more conservative with the battery this lap, so I'm not really using it. I'm just trying to save it for when we're going to need it later. So at the moment it's just a case of doing what we're doing, and if we do get a run set up, then using the battery for that. End of lap 3, Sainz sets the fastest lap, so the smooth operator is on a mission today.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate.
Meanwhile, we've got Lance Stroll directly ahead. I can't even begin to say how weird this feels. Again, I know I've said it about 10 times already, but I can't get over how weird this feels doing this track in daylight settings. I was using a bit of overtake to try and get closer to Stroll there, but it's just not going to happen at this stage of the circuit, and we're not that close. We need to find somewhere really that's a non-DRS area where we can catch the Canadian off guard. So it's all about, unfortunately, having a bit of patience right now and just waiting these next few laps out. Zhou, meanwhile, is starting to get close and get interested. Now, back on the old F1 games, there was a running joke that I had with some friends at the time, which was that any race of 50% or over round Singapore, I could not get to the end of. And literally every race on F1 2010, 2011, 2012 and 2013 that was 50% or over, I had literally never made it to the end of, until one particular race on F1 2013 where I did make it to the end and finished 11th, way outside of the points. So history around this circuit isn't really on my side, as we use a little bit of overtake to try and get closer to Stroll in turn 1, but nothing in doing there. I'm just having to be patient here. That's something I don't like doing because I know you're very much aware that you're losing time. But there's nothing you can do. You just got to stay behind and try not to smash into the car in front. I'm pretty sure if we do have rain coming, this one will come alive right at the end. So always be prepared. Singapore always has a surprise or two up its sleeve. And actually, the fact that we're still in the race, for me, I feel like we're doing all right. As long as we stay in the race, we are doing just fine. But the walls are always right there, ready to punish you. It's like Monaco, really. Only a faster version of Monaco. It's a bit more punishing as well. Right, this is where we set it up on Zhou. Don't have enough legs to set it up on Stroll yet. So it's going to be another lap of just waiting this out a little bit. That's cool. Alonso just sets the fastest lap. And we're only a tenth shy of that on that lap. So I'm not actually worried about our pace here because I know I can go faster than this. And look at this now. We're getting ready. We're getting ready to shape up on Lance. Surely this is going to be an opportunity now. We get on the overtake early enough. Yes, we are. We're going to have a look at Lance Stroll. This is for P12. We're staying close. I'm going to the inside line. I'm sending it. And Stroll, he gives me the room, but he's still there on the right. Side by side we go. And Stroll, I think for now, might just have the position. But we've got the exit and we've got the inside for the next corner. And we get the move done on Lance Stroll, taking P12. He's now coming back at me, though, where the old Singapore sling used to be. And God knows how much I missed that corner. I loved the old Singapore sling. But we're ahead of Lance Stroll now, up into P12. And now I can try and get on to Ricciardo and Russell ahead. That was some good racing there. And that was some enjoyable racing too. I do enjoy and relish a good battle. You know me. But now it's time to try and get on and get clear. But the problem is now, where we raced so hard, we've lost a bit of time to the cars in front. And they've all got DRS pushing them along. So I've now got to kind of get my foot down to get back up to these guys. So it's going to be a bit more difficult now to catch up. And we need to get a second clear of Stroll, ideally. If we can do that, we're fine. A few more clouds starting to appear here, so if there is, it's clear there is some weather coming in.
Stable at the moment, no rain currently expected.
But according to that, there is no rain on the way, so
gap to the car ahead,
at the moment, no warning for rain. And if we don't get a safety car, we could see the rain maybe just pass over this race finish before the rain gets anywhere near passing over us. I was meant to try and turn down the battery there. But see, look, the guys in front are getting away from us now because, obviously, they've got DRS working to their advantage. I don't, and Stroll still lingering about 8/10 behind me here. And while I think we're matching pace, I think they are just a little bit quicker. That was lucky we didn't get a corner cut for that. And that's also lucky that we didn't get propelled into the wall the other side. Going to use some overtake for this straight and finish off the lap. It's not particularly quick, but I feel like the other guys at the moment are just that little bit quicker. We've done a 32.7. Our tyres, don't forget, are not going to be at their best, so we're not going to be working with tyres that are particularly new, and we have finally broken free of the 1 second zone to Stroll, so we're free of that now, and that means that he's going to come under threat from Zhou Guanyu behind, while Ricciardo and Russell are going to be dealing with themselves. I wonder, is there a gap after Ricciardo, sorry, or is that just No, I've had a look on the map. They are all backed up together. I've tried to preserve a bit of battery, but I've lost time in doing so. I genuinely could do with a safety car to bring me back into this. Otherwise, I'm a little bit stuck here right now. It does look like there are a few more clouds about here. So at the moment, we're just doing our own thing in P12. And I'm just saving a little bit of battery as and where I can. Maybe if we save for a couple of laps, I might be able to have a attack lap. The 2.1 behind. So we've not really gained or lost. We're just matching at the moment. We need to find something a bit more special than that to really reach these guys. But we're still lapping quicker than Stroll and Zhou behind, so as long as we can get ourselves a bit of a safe buffer to them, for now that'll do. So it's all kind of settled down a bit. We're on lap 9 of 21. Don't forget, this is just the sprint race. There is a full 61 lap Grand Prix ahead of us. Oh, that's going to feel really long, isn't it? It's already felt long in this one when we're 9 laps in. God knows how the feature's going to feel. We're trying to catch up on Ricciardo and Russell, but it's not proving easy. And they're doing everything they need to do to keep the gap where it is. We've just kissed the barrier there, which is going to cost us a little bit of time. Hopefully not that much, but just a sign that maybe I am pushing a little bit too hard and just need to play it cool for a little bit longer. Hey Tash, what's up? Thanks for joining. I mean, I'll be honest, after Jeddah, I'm just grateful to be still in the race. Right, we've actually caught this lap somehow. Despite kissing the barrier, we've actually caught the guys in front a little bit now. So let's focus on bringing this gap down and getting ourselves back into this. Chance of points is there if we can just bring ourselves into this fight. Where are we? Lap 10 of 21. And it's definitely clouding over now, make no mistake of it. I still don't like the fact that it's in the day. I am going to stop moaning about that though, and let's just get on with this. I can see now George Russell ahead, and he's going to be bothering Daniel Ricciardo, but these cars are all in a train. And really the train makes it that much more difficult to do anything about these guys, and that was close, wasn't it? Oh, that was even closer. Right, Joe, slow down. Slow down. You're pushing too hard. I very nearly put myself in the wall about 3 times in one sector, but I'm trying so hard to catch up to the guys in front. There's still a little bit of a way left in this race and a potential for rain just yet, so just chill. I don't think I know how to chill in this circumstances, but we have gained another couple attempts on the cars in front. It's a 32.6, so we're consistently lapping in the 32. The pace here, not a problem, and we're just starting to eat into this little gap here. We're about 1.5 seconds away from Russell. I say give it 2, maybe 3 laps, and we're on their DRS. I have saved some battery now, so I'm going to use some. Quick pause. Sorry about that, but we're back underway, and we got a yellow flag! We have a yellow flag. Has somebody spun, or has somebody lost their engine? Well, someone's going very slowly. I'm having to be careful I don't hit Russell there. Someone was going slowly. It's Yuki Tsunoda, and he's out of the race. And that has brought me right onto the rear of these guys. So that has changed the face of this race. But the front 5, I think, have now entirely broken away thanks to Tsunoda's blow-up. I did wonder if maybe that was a spin or a blow-up. It turns out it's a blow-up, and actually, I think it's the front 7 that have broken away, not the front 5. I tell you what, I had to really react to the brakes then, otherwise we were going straight into one of these cars. And it's a miracle that we didn't. But Yuki Tsunoda now out of the race. And I tell you what, are we... Ooh, I thought about it, but I decided against it. There was no point wrecking my car there. As I've gone wide at the final corner.
You've lost some time to the car behind.
Yeah, I know I've lost some time to the car behind. Funny that, we were all queuing so that I didn't hit Russell. Thanks for stating the bloody obvious though, engineer. I didn't realise Will Buxton has your job. And in fact, because I got it wrong there, I now can't set up a run on Russell. Patience is going to be required. Are we going to see any rain in this stage? I'm not convinced that we're going to see rain. I think we are going to finish just before the rain comes. That's unlucky for Tsunoda. I think he was doing a good... He was doing quite well there. Right, so if we can just get to the front of this queue, we'll be in the top 8. And that's my plan. Oof. That was late on the brakes, wasn't it? I think Russell is something. We can set Russell up this time. Oh, any closer, any closer. Here we go. Can we set the run up here? We're using a bit of overtake. We need a bit more slipstream than that. I think we can do it. We're going to just lick the stamp and fully send that. And that is a move for 10th. I had a bit of a squirm there, though, as I hit the curb. But we get past George Russell, move into the top 10. Up next is Ricciardo and Alonso. But that was a move that needed to happen quickly. And now we can set after Daniel Ricciardo, but again we've fallen out of DRS, and Russell is right there, and he's going to be waiting to punish me.
But remember, we need to get to the end of the race.
And this forces me to use overtake that I don't really want to use. Russell's on the outside. Russell's going for it. No way through there, of course. We shut the door in his face. I'm very lucky I recognised he was there, because otherwise that would have been both of us round, race over.
No rain expected, no rain expected for the time being.
So we're still hearing
like the best tyre for
that
now.
no rain is expected, so I think we are going to get to the end of this one before any weather rolls in. But Russell is not giving up, is he? He's still there, and he still wants blood. It's going to be so difficult to catch up with Ricciardo and Alonso, and I just want to get past them both. If I can, we're in P8, we're in the points. And that, for me, I would be happy to grab a singular point. Hey Bethy, what's up? Thank you for joining. If I can gain a single point from this sprint race, I would be over the moon. I think we're just about entering Ricciardo's DRS. And that's what we've done. We've entered the DRS for Ricciardo. And it looks like Alonso and Hamilton ahead are going to have a little fight for position here. Alonso's getting along, getting alongside. No, Alonso getting alongside Hamilton and getting the job done. So Hamilton drops to 8th. Up to 7th goes Fernando Alonso. And we're in 10th, just watching it all happen. Watching it all unfold. Now, is Alonso going to pull clear of Hamilton? Or is this going to be a close fight? It's staying very close here, isn't it? Oh, I'm having to try not to hit Daniel Ricciardo, but I tell you what, this is a run that I wasn't expecting to set up. But I'm still there, so I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo. and we get the move done up into P9. I'm not really wanting to wait around. I'm wanting to get these moves done as soon as possible, because if we can get in 7th and get some clear air, maybe, just maybe, we can catch people ahead. And it's looking more ominous here. Now, my radio insisted
So we're leading up to
no
the
rain,
baseline,
but
7.9 seconds.
it's clouded over really quickly here. So my thoughts to my engineer are you sure no rain? I'm not entirely convinced. As we chase up Hamilton and Alonso for 7th. This has been going on for a while, hasn't it? Oh, trying not to hit anyone. It's been a solid race so far though. We've just quietly made our way forwards. Not had any real dramas or real... Whoa, Ricciardo had a look there, didn't he, as we took a wide line. I was trying to go for a good exit, but Ricciardo was there and ready to punish for it.
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions look good.
And
Drives
again,
definitely seem like
no
the fastest
threat
tyre at
of
the moment.
rain, apparently, according to the engineer. But again, I'm not convinced. I feel like rain is on the way, and we have been playing dare with the inside of that corner for a few laps now. So finally getting a warning for track limits. We're going to have to watch that. 6 laps remaining, and I want to get after these two quickly. And I feel like this could be where I set the run up on Hamilton. We're going to have to do it in a way which means we don't go into Fernando Alonso. Using all the overtake I have. Here we go. This is going to be on Hamilton for 7th. Can we do it without hitting Alonso? I'm down the inside. And actually Hamilton not having an answer for that at all. Up into P8 we go. And that puts us into the points here at Singapore. Which means if we finish where we are now, we are on for a single point. And Verstappen is only in 6th. So... oh, I don't like the inside of that corner there. And that just reminds me of Jeddah too much when we hit the inside wall there. Oh, I was worried about that one as well. Right, Joe, just stay focused. You've got a few laps to go. And you've got a point up for grabs. So just don't do anything overly heroical. Just do your race. And again, taking a lot of inside there. I'm just trying now to push, but it's all a little bit too much here. And again, taking liberties with track limits. But I'm fairly confident we can have Alonso very soon. In fact, is that scrapping going on up ahead? I think they are scrapping a bit because Verstappen seems to be getting backed into us. So this is it. I want to get ahead of Alonso before this lot backs into DRS zone of Alonso, and then we can't get him. So for us, it's a case of now or never on Fernando Alonso, and surely this is going to be it down the inside. I'm just going to have to send it and hope for the best. And we have managed to do it, but Alonso going back through. We've now got the inside for the next corner, and we have taken Fernando Alonso, moved up into 7th place. Not the cleanest of overtakes, but it was efficient nonetheless. Up into P7. Alonso might try and come back at me into the sling, but it doesn't happen. And we're now up into 7th. And now we're starting to chase down the front 6. I mean, it was very much an now or never move that we had to make on Alonso there. We had to go for it. And I'm glad we did go for it. And now we've got a chance at catching some of the guys in front. But we're going to have to... I'm going to have to hope they start scrapping again. And that brings me into it. Because at the moment, it's quite stagnant. We are pulling clear of Alonso bit by bit though. which is what we need to do here, just to guarantee our safety. And yes, I think they are. I think that was very much follow the leader that time round there. But now we've got some clear track, and we've got about 2.5 seconds worth of it. Can we catch up to the guys in front? That is the question. Some points are on offer here if we can finish where we are, but there's even more points on offer ahead if we can get ahead of the battle. So just 4 laps to go. And then we've got the Grand Prix straight after, of course. I will take a couple of minutes to have a drink. But other than that, we should be go. And wow, okay, they got backed up quite a bit through there. So all in all then, we've gained 8 places in this sprint. So even if we finish where we are now, that's not too shabby a job. We gained 8 places, moved from 15th to 7th. And if we can do something similar in the race, and in a similar sort of pace, it sets us up very nicely to have some battles at the front. And of course, Singapore is all about strategy, so we're going to have to really think about that one. It's a slow pit lane here, so you want to do this in as few pit stops as possible, but at the same time, because of how harsh it is on tyres, you don't want to be at the end with bad tyres. You want to be on the best tyres possible towards the end of this one. Alexa, turn the light to purple. I've had to switch my light on now because it's getting dark. I mean outside in terms of actual light, not in game light. We're getting onto the back of Verstappen here and we got 2 to go. You do just wonder, don't you? You do just wonder if there is a place to be gained here. He is the leader in the points, and Max really would have nothing to lose in fighting us. So he would have everything to lose in fighting us, whereas at this stage we're not really in the championship hunt. So I've got nothing to lose in attacking Max. Lap 20 of 21, just 2 to go, and you get the feeling that it's going to be a dramatic end here. I don't want to play follow the leader. I want to play attack the cars in front, but there's nothing on in this lap for the time being. So I'm just going to stay put for now and just try and get even closer to those that are ahead. And look how backed up Verstappen is there.
Okay, I've got information on Zhou for you. Okay, they're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Zhou's got a car problem, but I don't understand how that affects me at this stage, because I'm about 5 places ahead of him. As we're now there. Oh, okay, I'm setting up a move around the outside of Verstappen. You don't see that one happen, do you? But now we're on the overtake button. I'm pushing it side by side with Verstappen. Oh! That is a chef's kiss overtake. I am proud of that one. And we managed to get ahead of Verstappen up into P6. I didn't even intend that as an overtake. But then when we got to the outside and we had that much momentum, I then decided, you know what, let's go for it. Final lap here. And now we've got Charles Leclerc in P6. P5, sorry, dead ahead. Can we take Leclerc as well? Anything is possible here. And look how close we are to the Ferrari. fact, I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Can we get close enough? Oh, we're not going to get close enough. I don't have enough overtake. I'm just going to have to back out of that one for now. Well, that's not the circuit. And Hamilton moves ahead of Fernando Alonso. So Alonso will not get the final sprint point if he finishes where he is now. Alonso knocked out of the points. And I'm just waiting for a look at Charles Leclerc, and we've managed to tag him slightly. Leclerc offline. And I don't want to do that to me, so I'm going to try the move we did on Verstappen. That's not going to work. And Leclerc holding on again. Oh, this is getting serious on this last lap. I want to get after this Ferrari. But at the same time, I don't want to risk where I'm finishing. We're going to get one last run on Charles Leclerc here. Can we do it? I don't think we've got enough overtake to pull that off. No, we don't. We're going to have to settle for 6. But Leclerc defending that well as we head to the final bend. I don't know who won this one in the end, but we get P6 and 3 points.
We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
So with the sprint concluded,
it's actually Oscar Piastri who won that then, with Perez getting second, Sainz third, Norris fourth, Leclerc fifth, we're sixth, Verstappen 7th, and Hamilton 8th. So how does that affect the standings at this point? We have gained a solitary point on Verstappen, and that's a good start. That's a good start. But at the moment, I'm more focused on the battle for second, and Norris has cleared a few points on us. So really, it's all about, can we outscore the Ferraris? That's what I want to do here. Just try and outscore the Ferraris. If we can do that, we will have had a good race. Right, well, we've got a long, long Grand Prix ahead of us now. This is going to feel long. Let's do it.
Welcome then to Marina Bay and a tough, bumpy street circuit that will test these drivers to their absolute limit. So sit back and enjoy the action here at the Singapore Grand Prix. Things have changed slightly around the Marina Bay circuit with 4 corners removed. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Norris, Verstappen, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Ricciardo, Russell, Joe, Hülkenberg, the owner driver, Albon, Magnussen, Ocon, Bottas, Kobayashi, Gasly, and Logan Sargent. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? So I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about this afternoon, and who's going to talk about it with us? None other than Naomi Schiff. Hi, Naomi. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday. But in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
It is certainly an interesting time.
This is
Okay,
right. Let's
mate,
have a
I
look
know
at the
it's tough in there,
strategy.
it's hot in that cockpit, but your tyres are even hotter.
Medium,
So you have to work extra hard
medium,
to keep them
soft.
cool. It matters for performance.
I mean, I feel like that could work. We might be quick towards the end with that, but I'm actually going to change this. So I'm thinking 2-stop, but if we go soft first, and then do, because I'm thinking soft for, oh, can we do short? No. Like medium, and then medium. So if we do soft, medium, medium, do the opposite and do a short run at first. So I'm thinking go aggressive into the start of this race, try and gain as many positions as we can, and then work it from there. That's what I'm thinking. Although, I'm having a second thought. What if... we don't really want to start on hards. Right, okay. I think that's a good way to do it. I think that's a good way to do it. Right. Let's get this race underway then. 61 laps here at Marina Bay. This is going to be long. But we're underway here at Singapore. Zhou with a slow start. Stroll with a slow start. But we've got away magnificently here. But we've got nowhere really we can go. Oh, I'm just having to go straight across the escape road. And then just find space on the outside. And we're up into P13 because Zhou and a couple of other cars, they're playing bumper cars. I don't want to hit Russell. I did not want to be in a bad position there. So really the aim of the game now is just to try and get clear of as many cars as possible. We are pitting early. And, oh, that's an ambitious one down the inside of Ricciardo on that one. Oh, I thought that was going to be race over then. Oh, look how much grip with these have got. Lap 1 of 62. This is going to be a hell of a long race. It's going to be grueling. It's going to be tiring.
Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward.
Oh, I mean, that was just sloppy however you look at it. Luckily, we didn't clip Ricciardo there. I really thought we were going to whack into him. But my plan is, yeah, go aggressive early. Try and gain as many positions as possible. And then work it to the strategy. Obviously, these tyres aren't going to feel quite so nice in about 5 or so laps. So let's just see where we can get as we clear Lance Stroll. Up 5 positions already then, into the top 10. Perez leading the way in this Singapore Grand Prix, and Stroll getting ready to attack me back. But we're up into P10 in this opening lap on this Singapore Grand Prix. Only 61 to go. Time to get settled in. Our next target is Fernando Alonso with Yuki Tsunoda dead ahead of him. And we're already into the Grand Prix points paying position. So, for me, that's of some comfort that we're already into a position where we'll score a point. And I want to try and move up. So I'm definitely thinking the two-stop strategy. But I'm thinking pit early. And then maybe try a long run. Maybe try going around the outside of Lance Stroll. And I tell you what, the move worked once before. And it's going to work again. This is becoming something of a favourite overtake for me here. That's twice I've pulled that off. Earlier on Verstappen and now on Stroll. Are they going to wise up to that? If they do, I'm a little bit screwed. But at the moment, like I said, my plan is just to move forwards. These tyres will feel good for a little while, but then they're going to start feeling like utter crap. So I need to move forwards while I can. Having a look at Yuki Tsunoda there, and Alonso just getting into it. I said it was Stroll, sorry, it was Fernando Alonso I completed the overtake on. Am I just losing my marbles here? As now we head towards Yuki Tsunoda. I do apologise, it was Lance Stroll it was Fernando Alonso I overtook. But now we're up into 9th, and we're looking at 2 points. But that's if we finish the next 60 laps. And the lap times at the moment are in the 34s, which will probably fall into the 35s and the 36s. I'm going to hazard a guess that this race is going to take at least an hour and 45 to complete, maybe more. And of course, if we get safety cars, that'll make it even longer. Right, here we go. We're already setting up Yuki Tsunoda. This is going to be a bit of a sandy overtake. And I'm having to brake extra late and be harsh on it so I don't hit the barrier. but we are now ahead of Yuki Tsunoda and up in P8. So this has been a strong start to this Grand Prix. And the undercut may just help that.
We're increasing our gap on the car behind by around a second a lap.
Problem is when we do get ahead and we do pit early, the pack are going to have newer tyres than us, not to mention soft tyres at the end, so this is going to be a difficult one. I wonder if I can go long on the mediums. Can we pull off a soft, medium, soft? And maybe run a couple of laps longer on the softs than planned. What are they at the moment? 10%, okay. Strategic head on here. I want to try pulling off a soft, medium, soft strategy. We're on to the back of Charles Leclerc. We do have a spare set of soft tyres if we need it. That's me not watching where I'm going. Very nearly having an accident. Too busy messing about with strategy and just thinking about this one. Right, okay, so we're going to try and do a soft, medium, soft in this race. Just looking at the wear, I feel like that is the strategy to go for. But we're going to run a little bit longer on the softs than planned, and we're going to run long on the mediums. Of course, any safety cars and that can change the whole face of this strategy, so it's all very much a play it by ear thing at the moment, but I do feel like that's the way to go. If we don't get any safety cars or any real drama. Oh, there's a warning for track limits. That was a bit silly there. Gonna try and get onto the back of Charles Leclerc. I feel like we're very much stuck at the moment now in the train, and everybody is just kind of together. And we're just struggling to make any real forward moves at the moment. There is a chance on Leclerc here, but I didn't want to play over dare with it.
The car ahead starting to create a gap. They're just starting to pull away from us now.
So Leclerc pulling clear of us a little bit here. And I wonder, is the advantage of the soft tyres now leaving us? Like, do we now no longer have the performance advantage that once it gave us? And that's interesting to see the drop-off rate, as it were. Lap 6 of 62, and this is just the stage of the race now where we've got to have a little bit of patience, but I also feel the softs are starting to drop off a bit now in terms of relative performance, and that this is coming to the medium runners. And Carlos Sainz, I think, is the driver in the lead of this race. So it's going to be quite static for a while, I do fear, just while we run this strategy. I need to bring home some points from this race, though.
10.9 seconds.
That is imperative. Ending the 62 laps and finishing them in the points. Tsunoda and Alonso are still there. In fact, it's most of the pack that are in this train, and then it's just the back markers that are not. So I do feel in some of the melee behind, a couple of the cars took damage, and that's why they're lagging back. No, Perez is leading the way, should I say, because he's got quite clear of Carlos Sainz. Perez is actually dominating here, and Perez always was quite good round Singapore. He's a bit of a street circuit specialist, is Checo. Right, so the plan is to continue running the softs as long as we can. I'm thinking 16, 17, then pitting. And of course a safety car will change that, but at the moment there's no sign that a safety car is going to come out. Everything is relatively well behaved and static at the moment. As we end another lap. I tell you what, the McLarens are starting to get very close to Carlos Sainz. I wonder if whatever McLaren is directly behind is going to go for a move. He seems very close this time round. I'm actually surprised that Sainz is still ahead. I thought that McLaren was very close and potentially could have had a go, but didn't happen. Tsunoda's still right there, actually. Tsunoda's still not letting me get too far ahead. I do think we can get a couple of cars clear if we do pit earlier. Then again, if we get a safety car straight after we pit, that sends us back further. So it can work out pitting early, but it can also heavily backfire on you, especially round here. So everyone's just kind of settling into the race at the moment, which is what we're doing as well. Just settling in. Not really overly going for anything. Don't really see any point in taking an unnecessary risk. Just trying to keep the car facing the right way, out of the barriers. I'll tell you what, Tsunoda's having a preparation for a go on me here. Tsunoda's actually going to have a little look if we're not careful. I managed to shut that one down before he even thinks about it. So the top three is still Perez, Sainz, and whichever McLaren is ahead. And then you've got the other McLaren, Hamilton, Verstappen, Leclerc and myself as your top 8. We're a bit close to Leclerc this time. I feel like we might be able to have a little go at Leclerc here. What do you reckon? Shall we try it? Try and get closer using the battery. We have plenty of it. I don't think we're quite close enough. It's worth having a bit of a think about it, but nothing in doing for now. Still a long way to go in this race yet. Perez isn't as far ahead of Sainz as I thought he'd get. Like, he's got clear, but it's not like he's getting furtherly clear. Like, Perez has got about two, I'd guess, about 2, maybe 3 seconds. But he's not really been able to add to that gap. And we've got Yuki Tsunoda coming back at us. Also, my fuel is not where I want it to be. Tsunoda's got through. And I'm going to have to start saving fuel.
Stay with them. They might make a mistake and we could still regain the position.
So I've got to be careful with my fuel here. Oh, I really should have filled up better. I'm hoping we get a safety car. A safety car will fix the fuel situation. That was careless.
Okay, this is Mark. I need you to stop cutting the corners. If you keep it up, the stewards are going to give you a penalty.
Right, I'm going to worry about the fuel later. Because right now, one thing that's clear is that these tyres are not feeling quite as good. And we've gone from attacking Leclerc to now Tsunoda taking the place back. So we've lost a place here. Not to mention that we're also under fuel. I want to try and stay within DRS while preserving some fuel here.
Car behind's gaining on you by 5
But I do feel like I need to worry more about that later. Then again, if we don't get a safety car around here, Alonso's now coming at me. He's just under 2 tenths. And we've not really got anything to attack with. I'm going to try and defend. He's not really up the inside. Okay, that fuel thing is quite the worry, but I'm going to have to worry about that later. So these tyres are gone. So that there is drop off after 10 laps on the softs, and oh, it's noticeable. It's really bad. I just don't feel like I have traction or grip anymore, so I'm starting to struggle already, and this is not a good sign. Definitely not a good sign for my race. I'll need to try and keep these going for at least another 4 laps. Doing some lifting and coasting as well, just to save some fuel so that we can attack later. We're going to need to attack here. So Alonso's coming at us, and I think with how things are going at this stage, if he does get there, I'm not going to stop him. We haven't got the tyres or the traction or anything to really fight him with. Lap 12 of 62, and not everything isn't going particularly well at the moment. We're struggling with tyres. We've got 2 warnings for track limits, which now we're going to have to be so careful with. We haven't got enough fuel for the race, and the tyres are giving me jip already. So the soft tyres do have drop off. So I am thinking now of reverting back to the plan at the start, which is to go soft, medium, medium, instead of soft, medium, soft. And ooh, are we going to get away with that? Yes, we do. At the moment, yes, we are having to just do as much lifting and coasting as we can, where it doesn't cost us time. Every bit of lift and coasting we can do will help. Another thing that will help is a safety car, but there's no guarantee we'll get it. Even though we are at Singapore, There's no guarantees that we get safety cars.
Okay, let's try and overtake them now.
If we're going to get it anywhere, it will be here, so... We're still really in this hunt, though, so... We're not really losing track of this hump, which is good. And that's what's enabling me to keep doing lift and coast. The fact that we're not really losing track here. I tell you what, they're really backing up. Perez has lost places. That's interesting. I think if that is Perez, he's lost places because Sainz is now leading. What happened with Perez then? Did he have a moment? I'm very curious now as to what happened, because Perez looked fairly comfortable in first, unless he's developed a problem, which I can only anticipate that maybe he has.
Okay, so we're leading our team.
Suddenly he's lost pace.
5 seconds.
And all the while we're lifting and coasting, we're not really attacking. Trying not to get a warning for track limits. We're not really attacking, but this is backing up. So has Perez got some kind of issue? All signs point to maybe. Now maybe I should see this as a sign to attack, but I'm still lifting. Look how slow they're going. Is this a tyre drop-off thing, or... Like, what is going on out there at the moment? But nobody's seeming to want to go for it. And everyone just staying rather stagnant. I wonder, has Perez got some kind of issue? They're backing up quite a lot. Someone's had a lock up there. Didn't see who it was. Somebody had one. Close to the wall. I don't know, there are signs of struggle here. And at certain parts of the circuit, they're really getting badly backed up.
Give us the best in lap you can.
I'm going to try and run this, oh god, I'm going to try and run this a couple of laps longer if I can. Everything just is not as it seems here at the moment. But it's allowing me to lift and coast. Wow, they're really back. Okay, so a McLaren has now got clear of Perez. I'm going to assume that's Piastri, because he was faster in the sprint. So Perez has now lost second place. I assume that's why they're backed up this time. There's definitely something not quite right. I don't have the traction to try that move. Plus, Tsunoda's wise to it, I think. He says, you've already done that one once before, Joe. I am not that naive. This is actually helping us save a good chunk of fuel here, which is what we need right now. We need to save fuel. And we can only do that through lift and coast. And this is allowing us to lift and coast. And the McLaren has got clear of Perez, so Perez has clearly got some kind of struggle here. Maybe it's some kind of issue, I don't know. We're having to lift and coast, so I can't really make any call on it right now on what's going on with Perez, unless it is just a case of Perez doing Perez things and being slow. they're backing up. Hang on, Chase Simmons says use overtake. I'm lifting and coasting at the moment because I was using quite a bit of fuel, and I don't really want to take any unnecessary risks when I'm on softs that are very, very used, and I don't quite have the traction of the cars in front. So I'm just saving it for now. I'm going to try and do this on strategy as Alonso has a look up the inside. How am I using World Car in original F1? I'm doing an equal car, so I'm doing an equal car Grand Prix Championship, and within that, on F1 World, you can select Grand Prix and you can customize a championship. And what I've essentially done is done that and played in the world in my own F1 World car with a teammate. So, but yeah, if you're unsure of what I'm doing at the moment, I'm lifting and coasting to A, save fuel, and B, this lot are backing each other up anyway, so I don't see any sense in really attacking. I'm doing this on strategy. Right, I've run a couple of laps longer than I planned, so this will be my in lap. I will be pitting this lap. I've saved a decent amount of fuel. We are going to attack a bit more when we get out on circuit. Whoa, okay, Alonso's up the inside, weren't ready for that. And the other McLaren has now got clear of Perez. So my aim here,
dropping due to wear, so don't be too aggressive.
My aim is to try and get clear of Perez. There's a few cars ahead, and I believe we can get clear of them. Oh, no, the grip is gone. The grip is gone, so I definitely can't stay out any longer. Look how slow I'm having to go through the corner. So this is where now things will start to get interesting, because I'm boxing this lap, and like I said, my goal is to get clear of Perez, who has actually pitted, so that's not helped me at all. But that kind of proves that Perez also having tyre woes. I'm going to take a quick drink while I pit.
Okay, go, go, go. Perfect job on
And
the
that's a
turn
very
there,
smooth
mate.
pit
Looks
stop.
like a nice stop time.
The
We're
only
happy with
car
that one.
behind me now is Valtteri Bottas.
Okay, one stop to go. Just one stop left in this strategy.
And now would be the absolute worst time for a safety car. So Perez was struggling on tyres too. I didn't see if he pitted from softs or not. But now we've got the ability to push a bit more now. And that does feel so much better. Just to have some fresh rubber. Interestingly, Perez on softs again. So if Perez was on softs, he's taking softs now. So that's an interesting call by him. But there is a very fast drop-off on those softs. Right, I'm running, I was going to run long, but I think if we can go to lap 40 and then pit, take on a second set of mediums and go for the end, that is the plan.
Well, so we've got to warm up our tyres and get the most out of it. Come on.
But Perez is super quick because he is on those softs, and he'll be super quick for a while. But we're not really fighting Perez at the moment. I want to get clear of a couple of the cars that were in that fight.
This is our true position. They've pitted as well.
You've
so
said that
warm
about
your tyres
3 times,
down the road.
engineer. I get the point.
Okay, gap to the
If
car
you can
ahead,
keep the information in this
3.2 seconds.
Grand Prix relevant to what I need to know, that would be amazing. I don't need you to tell me the same piece of information 3 times. What's that say? Great driving. You earned yourself a like and sub. Thank you very much, my friend. That means a lot. Thank you for taking the time to check the content out. Right, they're catching up with Sergio Perez now, but he's going to be stuck behind Hulkenberg and co. So that might give us a chance to catch. Now, these guys are not going to be pitting for a couple of laps yet, so that is going to help us out nicely. I do apologise if it takes me a couple of moments to get to the chat. This is a difficult race. But we're catching Perez now. And that's our chance now to get him off guard while he's amongst slower cars. And that's allowing us to catch. And I think we're earning ourselves a nice little undercut here. I wonder where it's all going to shake out. This is going to get very interesting very soon, as now we're starting to really reel Perez in, and he will not be needing this. He's on fresh soft tyres. He'll be wanting to get up the road, and he's just not able to get up the road because he's got Sargent and Hulkenberg dead ahead while I'm setting fastest laps of the race. And look, we're right on Perez now. Now this is where I'm going to get held up, but I'm going to go round the outside of Perez. Are we going to make that work? Perez is side by side with us, and we're ahead. We have got ahead of Sergio Perez and moved ourselves a position upwards, but now Sargent and Hulkenberg are having a battle, and I do not want to get involved with this one bit. Sargent has got clear. Now I need to get clear of Hulkenberg as well. Hulkenberg is alongside us as we go up the inside, and I'm now going to try and sweep round the outside of Hulkenberg. That we have done, and we've got the position on him as well. And I need to get clear of Sargent so he doesn't hold me up too much either, because we are pushing for an undercut here, and Perez is still behind Hulkenberg. We've now got a chance to get past Logan Sargent. I'm not waiting it out. We're going to use the advantage of our tyres, go down the inside. Sargent's trying to get the traction there, but it's not quite worked for him. Perez has got ahead of Hulkenberg, but he's now over a second behind us. And I don't know if Sargent will be pitting this lap or whether it will be Albon, but the more we can get clear on Perez, the better, because then his soft tyre advantage will be gone. Great pass, thank you very much. Right, this is critical now. Where are we? That's Carlos Sainz. That is Carlos Sainz. I think he was leading the race. Have we just undercut ourselves to the lead? It all depends on where the McLarens shake out. We're having to use overtake to protect ourselves because Carlos Sainz is coming. But I think I have got myself into the lead of this Grand Prix with that undercut. Even though it was a few laps, it was worth it. Although Sainz is all over me, and Perez was really held up by Sargent. Hi Eric, thank you for joining. Don't forget to leave a like if you are new here. Thank you very much. We're now just trying to cover off Carlos Sainz. Thing is, his tyres are going to be 4 laps younger, so Sainz with the advantage here, and Perez is on soft tyres. So again, if we can get clear of both of them, let them fight each other before they become a problem to us. Where are we? We're on lap 21 of 62. We're about a third of the way through this Grand Prix. And we're not exactly shaking Carlos Sainz off as we come up to finish another lap here at Singapore.
9.1 seconds.
Some of the other drivers not pitting yet. This is interesting. So, I mean, I say it's the effective race lead, but if they stick on hard tyres, some from here could theoretically try and go to the end. And that would really throw it all in my face, but that's the race. So That's Singapore. Anything can happen around here. Any strategy goes. We're only still just ahead of Carlos Sainz. We've got a long way to go in this race yet. Don't forget, I do have 2 warnings for track limits, so I'm having to be careful
some
there.
on Gasly. They've got some kind of mechanical problem.
Again, that's great, but how does Gasly having a mechanical problem affect me? I mean, I know he's ahead of us, but he hasn't pitted, so really, Gasly isn't the most relevant driver to my race. Sainz and Perez are right behind me now. I'm kind of glad that I've got Sainz in my DRS, and I think while Sainz has got DRS, Perez is not a threat. So one thing I could push a little bit harder, but I'm thinking I've got Sainz and Perez. Sainz giving I'm giving DRS to Sainz, and that's stopping Perez coming at me. So I feel like right now what we're doing, the pace we're doing, is okay. Fuel situation could become a problem soon, but for now I just want to do some clear laps. So it's clear that Sainz and Perez have got better tyres than me at this stage, but while Perez is behind Sainz, I'm not all that worried. I'm not overly worried about Sainz. I think he's going to have to find somewhere to really send it in order for it to work. And at the moment, we're running okay enough pace to
1 second.
cover off anything. But if these guys ahead are all one-stopping, that really does throw my race out. Especially given that fuel is an issue. Teammates in the pit. So what tyres is he going for? We're going to start finding out now what they're all going for. Nobody's taken on hards. That is interesting. But I tell you what, a lot of these drivers now have much fresher tyres. So their lap times are going to be insane. But at the moment, I feel comfortable doing what I'm doing, knowing that Sainz and Perez, albeit right behind me, are not really a threat. But let's do some light lift and coast work for now, because now I know that these guys are not trying a one-stopper. They started on mediums, still on mediums. Ooh, okay, that was a little bit wider than I wanted. So we can actually now just do a little bit of light lifting and coasting, and just saving little bits of fuel here and there, so that if we have to push later, it's not an issue. It might seem like a controlled drive at the moment. And what's he saying? Hi, do you have F123? If you do, we can race. Yeah, I do have F123. I haven't played it in ages, though. Right, so Hamilton and Stroll are pitting. Now, I'm going to assume that neither of them are going for hards. Norris also pitting. So no one's gone for hard. So this is now effectively me leading this Grand Prix. Oh, I thought that was going to be track limits then. I made a bit of a mistake. But that's not really allowing Sainz. So, okay, I can control this pace for a while. But Norris and Tsunoda, they're going to be on brand new tyres. But I'm not really worried, because they would still have to pass Perez and Sainz. And I don't think while they're in this queue, it's going to be particularly easy for either of them. So it is just a matter of controlling this pace at the moment. Sainz has a little look there, but there's nothing in doing in that. So to anyone wondering why I am pacing myself, I'm just lifting and coasting a bit and just trying to save up fuel for now. We're on lap 25 of 62. Not a lot, still quite a long way to go. We're approaching the halfway stage of this race. And even though I am lifting and coasting and taking it relatively easy, it's not easy. And I will add you after the stream, mate. I will add you on whatever platform you have that you play F1 on. Tell you what, Norris gained 1.5 seconds on us that lap. So Norris is flying, but the problem is there's nothing he can do when he gets there because this is a bit of a DRS train. And Sainz thinking about it that time. Definitely thought about it, but there's no way through there. I promise you this is not as under control as I'm making it look. I'm having to focus like mad every corner and just make sure that we're not in the wall. You play on PlayStation, I'll add you on PSN then. Lap 26 to 62. Heading to the halfway stage of this Grand Prix, and Lando Norris again, another 1.5 seconds. Surely this is going to be a fastest lap by Lando Norris incoming, because he is flying out there at the moment. That is alarmingly quick. A 1:33 dead for Lando. I mean, that's not that much quicker than our fastest lap, but interestingly already, just looking behind, Perez starting to drop off again. So there is a very clear drop-off of them soft tyres, which is why I'm confident with finishing the race on mediums. I've just set a green first sector. I don't know how I did that. Sainz fancying it there, but no way through there. Carlos, my boy, you're going to have to work harder than that. I do feel like Perez is going to lose DRS to Sainz soon. And when he does, Norris is going to be there. Sainz now coming at me. So I'm not able to lift and coast as much as I wanted to through there. And actually Perez having a better time of things that time round, because he's a little bit closer to the sides. But I wonder if that's just, again, my pace, because I'm setting mid-34s at the moment. And Norris catching by 1 second that time. I do wonder what our pace would be if I just did a hot lap, but I don't see any need to go for any heroic hot laps right now. Quite comfortable with the pace I'm running. I'm still planning to stick this out to about lap 40, but I might extend depending on when my rivals pit. I know Sainz is getting very close and getting very interested now, so I've got to be careful. He'd love a chance at having a look. And Norris is now pretty much right with us. Tsunoda's not too far off either. Oh! Lucky to get away with that. That was a big whack. Well, that's going to wake me up a bit. Here comes Sainz. Sainz is going to have a go, but no way through. Like I said, this isn't as under control as it looks. And Sainz is just waiting for it to go wrong. He's half a second behind in the Ferrari, and we all know that Carlos has won here before. A little fun fact for you guys. I've never actually completed a 100% race round here. You know, I was talking about the jinx I had on F1 games. The races I played were... the races I played that I completed were 50%. I've never completed a 100% race round here without binning it in the wall. I remember one particular time on F1 2011 where I was playing, I did a race round here. It looked like I was going to win it, and then with 3 laps to go, I caught a bit of wheel spin, and round we went into the wall. Car was destroyed, race was over, and that was that. Me too. I normally do short races like 13 laps. Yeah, I can understand why most would round here. It's a difficult circuit. Whenever I do career mode, I do 50% races. But whenever I've done this Equal Car Championship, which is something I started since F1 2023, I always do 100% races. Here comes Carlos Sainz now. Sainz getting ready. The Predator is having a look around the outside, but no way through for Sainz. We wasn't quite there. Piastri, meanwhile, moves into 5th, and I'm now having to just get a bit of a move on because Sainz is letting me know he's there, and he's had enough of holding back now. It's lap 30 of 62, and we've still got half this race to go. I'm leading it for now after a nice little undercut, but
Okay, I've got
oh,
information.
Zhou Guan Yu's out of the race. What happened to him? Well, that's a car failure. Zhou Guan Yu having a car failure. Now, will that trigger a safety car? I'm not sure that will. I think we'll be fine for now, provided no other drama happens within that space of time. However, I have known it where 2 cars have blown up on the same lap, and this game has thrown a red flag because of it. So, I'm not saying we're in the clear, but I'm hoping that I mean, I'd quite like things to stay quite stagnant for now. Oh, Piastri's closing in. He's got clear of Tsunoda now. Not seen Verstappen anywhere near the top 6, and that's a bonus. But Sainz is definitely on the push now. So this is where the yellow flag is. Just here for Zhou. No overtaking through the yellow flag zone, so I'm not worried that Sainz is going to try anything here. We've got a bit of... We've saved quite a bit of fuel now, so... I'll be quite happy in a few laps to start going for it again. But I just want to try and get maybe a lap to the good. We're just about halfway through this race now.
Gap to your teammate behind, 16.0 seconds.
We're just lifting and coasting for the time being. And I think Perez is starting to fall back away from Sainz. Yes, Perez is no longer in DRS. And Norris has got ahead of Perez. That's not good. That is not good at all. Because Norris is on really new tyres. And if he gets clear of Sainz, he could be quite a significant threat to us. Lap 32 completed, 30 to go. And Perez really dropping back, so that soft tyre not only falls off, but it falls off hard. And Norris is now less than a second away from taking the race lead. Oh, Sainz has hit me up the back as I'm... Oh, Sainz has got a damaged wing! I was doing my lift and coast and Sainz has just whacked me up the back! I mean, cheers for that, Carlos. Hang on a sec. What is going on here? Keep up the race. Great pace, dude. Thank you. You're welcome. Right. Oh, that was close. I do not like how close to the wall that was. Sainz has got a damaged wing now, so he's going to be slow. I wonder, is that going to force an early pit stop for him? If it does, what tyre does he go on? That's interesting. I think surely with how much time he's losing, he would need to stop. And I think Sainz has pitted, so that's not good for us necessarily. That's really not good for us, depending on what tyre Sainz takes. That has thrown everything out now. And now we've got the very fast Lando Norris right behind us. Norris now within a second of me. This is not good at all. Half a second between myself and Norris now. And he is on super fresh, super fast tyres. And Sainz is going to be fresh out the pits on fast tyres as well. That is really... It's pulled a number on my race, that's for sure. Verstappen's now up to 4th. Norris going down the inside. Norris having a look. We're going to try and defend from him. I'm giving him space. Norris on the inside. And Norris takes the lead. Norris gets it done. And I've not quite got the tyre traction that he has. Oh, this has really thrown the race out, hasn't it? Norris now leading, and I'm having to... Oh, Lando Norris taking the lead of the race while I was lifting and coasting. And now we've got to get back after him. So we've got to find a way to get back after Lando Norris. But right now, he is super quick. But I am pitting in a few laps' time. Oh, gone wide there. So Norris into the lead, and not just into the lead, but comfortably so on the pace he's running. I didn't see him coming. I really should have been more observant to that one, but we weren't observant enough, and as a result, Norris now leads this Singapore Grand Prix. We're in second place. Right, I think I've saved enough fuel. It's time to get on with this now. Like I said, it's not under control at all. And Lando Norris now takes the lead. 27 laps to go. With 35 completed. And I'm pitting at the end of 40. Stay tuned to this one because this is going to end in drama. I can feel it. And my battery for my controller is low, so I just need to stick that in there. Is that charging? Yes, it is. Norris is very fast at this stage. And there's a pack of cars that is now coming straight towards me. Weather-wise, it looks like it's going to stay dry to the end, so I don't think there's going to be any weather intervention. Norris now leading the race. I haven't seen... One thing I haven't seen pop up yet is any fastest lap times by Sainz, so it's still unclear as to where Carlos is going to emerge in all this. And Leclerc's making his way into 5th. I don't know what's happened there. If Tsunoda had a moment, but Leclerc's moved up to 5th. Piastri now all over the back of me. At the moment, I am achieving my primary goal. I am ahead of both the Ferraris. I'm taking these tyres to lap 40. Lando Norris, though, on a charge at the moment. He's got 4 seconds clear. I play on PlayStation. I will stay tuned. Thank you. Norris just lost a couple attempts there, so I wonder if he had a lock-up as well. I don't know. Anything's possible in this race. Right, 3 laps then before we make our next pit stop. I'm hoping that we can emerge in a good space. Although it's saying pit lap 43, I don't think so. I'm hitting lap 40. Oh, it's Piastri! Piastri's down the inside. I weren't expecting that. I'm going to shut that straight down. Piastri really sticking it up the inside there. I didn't even see him coming. I was so busy focusing on my strategy that Piastri just went full send up the inside. Right, bear with one moment. Controller or wheel? Controller. Right, lap 38. 2 more laps before I pit. And then it's the final run to the end of this Grand Prix. And Norris has got quite a few seconds clear now. I will be grateful for the fresh rubber when we get it on. But Piastri's getting ever closer. Once again. So Piastri just asserting his position here. Just showing me he's there. Pretty good for controller, thank you. It's not easy, and Piastri's coming down the inside now, and I think this time he has gone through. Not going to fight that one too hard. Piastri up to second. He just has much better tyres at the moment. I'm only a couple of laps away from pitting, so I'm not fighting him, especially if we can get that back for an undercut. So no point in overly defending there. Because again, we're at the end of our stint, so, and I think he'll have a few laps more yet. Not to mention those on softs are going to have a pretty major drop-off towards the end of this Grand Prix, so if they do take softs at the end, they are going to struggle. We saw the drop-off for Perez, so the same will happen for everybody else, I'm sure of it. It's after about 5 or 10 laps, and I experienced it as well, where everyone was battling so much. In fact, Piastri's not pulling clear, which is a surprise. So Oscar Piastri not really pulling as clear as I thought he would, and that's going to protect us from getting passed by Verstappen. Perez has obviously had another pit stop, and he's just posted the fastest lap. Meanwhile, Verstappen is having a look, but we're not going to make it easy for Max. No way through there, and we hold on to P2 for now. And Piastri backing us up a little bit here, while Lando Norris is getting ever clearer. And Verstappen getting ever closer, but there's no way through here. This is not an overtaking area. And I cannot wait till the end of this lap to get off these tyres and get on something that's actually going to give me some grip, some traction. Hopefully this will be the final lift and coast motion I do in this entire race. So I think we have just about saved enough fuel to the end. Right, let's box. Careful on the way in. And we're into the pits. And a few cars have followed me in.
Okay, let's
Tsunoda
go
going on
now.
hard.
That was a
That's
fantastic
interesting.
stop, faster than we were expecting.
Tsunoda going on
Strategy
hard there.
complete.
Perez is
These
out in
tyres
front
through
of
to the end
us.
now.
Perez is comfortably in front of us here. So Perez has done soft, medium, I believe. Has Perez actually been the one to call it? Sainz is on hards. That is surprising. And we're clear of course, Sainz pitted a few laps ago. So actually, it's pretty good that we're clear of Sainz. Though he's coming back at me. I forgot to turn my ERS deploy back up to normal after coming out of the pits. I always turn it off to conserve power. And Sainz having a go. He's half a second behind me. I was just going to say, it's critical to be out ahead of Sainz, because Sainz could have held me up in my outlap. So we're ahead of Sainz, but we are far behind Sergio Perez, who may have just called this entire thing spot on. We've got 20 laps to catch him in though. So my plan is now to just gun it towards the end. And we are catching Perez little by little.
Tyre condition still looking good.
We've got 21 laps left now. And we are clear. We've cleared the DRS threat of Sainz, so that's good news. Now the question is, how long are the McLarens staying out for, and what are they putting on when they pit? They might go for softs.
And gap to
They
the car
might be
in
able
front,
to.
8.0 seconds.
Those behind me that pitted when I did now, they're really struggling because of taking hards, and Sainz is very slow, so... And we're actually catching Sergio Perez quite quickly, so I think Perez will have a bit of competition from us relatively soon. I'd give it about 5, maybe 10 laps, and we'll catch Perez. So we have got fresher tyres, and that will work for us. And right now it'll be held up by Gasly, who had an issue earlier in this race, as you'll remember. So there are things that will come back to work in our favour here. But we're not quite at the end yet. And we set a fastest lap of 1:31.8. So now is the time to start showcasing that pace. And yes, while Perez is being held up, now's a chance to try and bring that particular gap down. I'm interested, but I think we're going to see a McLaren in at the end of this lap, if they are pitching in. Oh, what's going on in the chat? They're having a chat with each other, so that's all good. Perez not able to make anything on Gasly here, and that is going to cost him in this particular part of the circuit, where we've got fresh tyres, and that's working for us. Because already in that one sector we've caught Perez by like a second. It's a very fascinating race, this one. I do wonder where it's all going to work out. But Perez will be cursing Gasly right now, because he'll be thinking to himself he could be leading this race if it's not for Gasly. And Gasly, does he pit or does he stay? I think Gasly stayed out. I think they all have. So we've got another lap of clear air, but they're all in traffic. And Lando, I think, has got to have stayed out as well, so that works for us. But that does kind of lean to the theory of McLarens are going to put softs on when they pit. They're going to be super fast for a while, but then they're going to have a drop-off. So we've just got to keep doing our race. And at the moment, we're really bringing the gap down to Sergio Perez, who's going to have a voodoo doll of Pierre Gasly, I'm sure of it, after this race. Lap 44 of 62. That's where we're at the moment. We're heading towards the closing stages of this Singapore Grand Prix. And all the lifting and coasting we did in the middle of the race has given us, I think, just about enough fuel to play with for the end now. So we've done ourselves a good job here. And yet these guys still stay out. So that brings Perez even closer. The question is, has anybody pitted yet? No.
3.1 seconds.
And that's really brought us to Perez, and that's really, I think, killed any chances he had of being near the front of this race at the end. I've got a feel for him there, really, because it would have been quite an interesting battle to see where Perez emerged in relation to the McLarens. The only worry I have is, even though if they do go on soft tyres, there'll be a drop-off, their tyres are 7 laps younger, so the drop-off may not even take effect until the last few laps. Just taking a pause to have a drink. Now we're right behind Sergio Perez. Look at this queue of cars. Sorry, I needed to pause for a drink again, but yeah, look at this queue of cars. I thought that was Verstappen in the mix there. It's not, it's Kobayashi. Like, surely some of these have got to pit this lap. No, they don't. How late are these guys running? Right, well, the problem is now, this is going to start holding me up unless I start making overtakes. So I think we're going to have to start... Oh, that wasn't even a good try at all. We have to now start overtaking ourselves. Otherwise, we're going to lose time. So, we're going to have to just somehow try a lunge here. But we're not close enough. However, we're close enough there. And Perez is round the inside there. But we're going to have to just sweep round the outside. And we gain the place on Perez. That is P13 at the moment. Effective. Well, I don't know where we're effectively racing, because I don't know where everyone else is. But I cannot afford to be held up by this pack much longer. I unlocked the compendium. Nice one, mate. Well done. I need to get past Gasly, and I need to do it now. This is just going to have to be a full lick the stamp and send it overtake. That's what it is. Up another place. And yes, drivers are starting to pit, so we might find out now where we are amongst the pack. Interestingly, Piastri pits but not Norris. And Perez is going to be right behind us. Sainz going to be ahead of some of the other soft runners as well. So this could make things quite interesting. But the big question is, where is Lando Norris going to emerge in all this? I'll tell you what, Sainz being where he is could help me in the long run of this race here. But Perez is staying with me as I get to Stroll. So Perez still could be a threat in this race yet. It all depends as well on where Lando Norris comes out. Because if he's out ahead, he's going to get about 2-3 laps that are super quick and that we're not going to be able to do anything about. And what's not helping is that I'm now being held up by Lance Stroll. However, that's going to help Stroll. Where are you going, Lance? Really unhelpful from Stroll there. Thanks for that, dickhead. I made it clear that it looked like he was defending the inside, which is why I moved to the outside. But then he moves back across. My understanding of the rules is that you can't do that. Right, there's Hamilton. Where's Norris? Where's Norris? Where's Norris? There's Norris. I think we're just going to be ahead of Lando. But I tell you what, these next few laps, Norris is going to be super quick. Hamilton on hards. Where did Magnussen come from? Bloody hell, where did Magnussen come from in all this? But right now, Perez is the only thing protecting me from Lando Norris. So we have got to get up the road while Perez is ahead, because he won't be ahead for long. And that's Magnussen getting ahead of Sainz. What is the order of this Grand Prix? This surely made Stroll's skills realistic, as he is, to be honest, blind. Yeah. I can neither confirm nor deny. Norris has now got ahead of Perez. So this is going to give me a massive headache now. Lando Norris on fresh soft tyres. I'm on mediums. Lando's tyres 8 laps younger. If Lando gets anywhere near me, there's going to be nothing I can do. Norris is just super quick, at least at this stage. But when those tyres drop off, we are going to come back at him. So it's just a matter of trying to keep Lando behind as long as we can. 14 laps to go here at Singapore. First DRS zone coming up. Lando's having a look down the inside. Can we come around the outside here? We just about do, and Lando will have to wait for now. Russell sets the fastest lap. Alonso sets the fastest lap. Albon sets the fastest lap. It's a free-for-all at the fastest lap at the moment. And look at the traction Norris has got. There's nothing we can do about that. Norris into the lead of this Singapore Grand Prix. And there was nothing I could have done to stop him there. Norris just getting through on pure traction alone. And Lando Norris leads this Singapore Grand Prix with 14 laps left to run. He is on soft tyres though. Surely they will drop off near the end. We saw it happen with Perez, so it's not over yet. Now my main focus is Perez. He's 2.2, but Magnussen is closing in on Perez now. Magnussen could be on for a podium here, which would just be insane. And Norris already having a gap of just under, or just over a second there, but we've just set the fastest final sector of the race, so still game on here. This is not race over just yet, especially if the soft tyres decide to go kaplunk. So this is not entirely done yet. And Magnussen just lost a bit of time in that last sector, but he is still closing on Perez. So could we see Magnussen on the podium? Haas will look like rock stars instead of looking like a bunch of fucking bankers. Good Steiner impression out the way. Where are we? P2. Trying to stay with Lando Norris, but he's just so fast at the moment. Luckily, Perez behind. He's not so quick. And I don't think any of the other soft runners have really made anything of the hard tyre drivers yet. Sainz in particular leading that way. And he's quite a way back to us. So even if, say, one of them gets clear of Sainz, I'm confident enough to say they probably won't reach us before their tyres wear out. So right now I'm fairly confident in what I'm doing. I'm fairly happy in what I'm doing, and we're just running it to the end. And even if we're not able to catch Norris, I will still happily take P2. Norris sets the fastest lap, 1:31.3. Let's go, Joe H2O. I'm trying. I'm just doing what I can to stay with Lando. And Sainz is starting to develop a little bit of a queue of cars behind him. But I think now, even if they get clear of Sainz, it's too late for them to have anything to do with me. I think I'm pretty safe as long as I touch wood. As long as I don't make any silly mistakes, we should be safe here in P2. But I do wonder how long those soft tyres are going to last. And are we going to see the sort of drop-off we saw earlier as Tsunoda moves into top 5. So Tsunoda's now 5th, ahead of Carlos Sainz. And he is also on hard, so I'm not overly worried about his pace. It's the soft drivers I'm worried about, but they're not really getting anywhere near me, so... And I'm looking at Lando's lap time, it's about 1.5 seconds quicker. And with Tsunoda 11 behind, factoring in any potential drop-off on the softs, it would take them at least till the last lap to catch me. And don't forget, they've still got Magnussen and Perez to navigate, so there's that works in my favour as well. Magnussen's starting to stretch away from Tsunoda too, so Magnussen looking pretty good in 4th, and he is catching Sergio Perez. Tsunoda's having such a good race in the top 5 as well. Some real underdogs within the top 5 here, which is nice to see. And Norris is still pulling away. I'm just waiting to see now if these tyres have the kind of drop-off that we saw them have earlier. It'll be in about the next 5 laps that they start, if they do. Till then, I'm quite happy to run at the pace I'm running. To be fair, I think even if they do, Lando might just have enough of a lead to have it covered. So I think Lando has just about done enough there to give himself the win. Got 5 seconds, so we'd need a pretty major fall off now for that to work. Everybody like the stream for motivation? Yes, please. Let's get some motivation going.
Beginning to form. Let's make the most of it.
Hopefully Lando's tyres start to go off. Those softs, we saw it with Perez twice. They do not last very long round here. And when they go, they go. And it's usually in about 10 to 12 laps. Now Lando put them on at about, I think it was lap 47 or 46. So it'll be around lap 57 that those tyres just start liking him that little bit less. And Magnussen is looking very set to take P3 from Perez. Magnussen's had a blinding race, hasn't he? But that's what I love about this Equal Car Championship, is that every race you can see different drivers in the top positions, and you do get some underdogs who have had better strategies just force their way through. So that's what I like about this championship. You do often see that every so often there'll be a top 5 where you just think, huh? How did they get there? It's great to see, honestly. 6.2 is the gap on lap 54. Norris still pulling away, but at some point he has got to start liking those tyres left. And Magnussen is still closing on Perez, but he's not closing that fast. So he's gonna want to get a move on if he wants that 3rd place. He's gonna have to get a little bit of a move on now, because he's still got 2 seconds to catch, and Perez, we know he can defend, so and Norris now 7 seconds clear. Would it have been better to go soft, medium, soft, I wonder? Though we had no pace on the tyres we were on to fight Lando when he came through earlier, so I don't think it would have made that much difference in the end. I think Lando has just been on the right tyre at the right time. One could also argue if we didn't have so much lifting and coasting to do, maybe as well. What's that say? Yeah, there's a lot of great driver with good potential that doesn't get seen due to their car. Manual, automatic. Automatic. Yeah, I do agree. There's a lot of great drivers that don't get noticed out there. And Tsunoda is very much one of them. And I feel like he should have had the Red Bull seat over Lawson. But that's just my opinion. Just one guy's opinion. Right, we've got 7 laps to go in this race. We're very near the end now. I'll tell you what, the exhaustion's starting to set in. Oh, that's a little mistake there. Oh, Verstappen has moved up into 5th. And he's on softs. Right, so he could still be on for a podium here. But like I said, it all depends on whether the soft tyres have that drop-off or not. Still a very interesting few laps ahead of us yet, but Verstappen, that's worrying. But he's got 2 cars to navigate. And if there's anyone I want to stay ahead of, it's Verstappen. It's unfortunate for Tsunoda that he's been caught. Look how fast Max is. He's caught nearly a second on this one lap. I mean, I think Max is now the biggest threat for 3rd. I don't think he's going to get past me, but I never say never in this sport. 6 to go. And this has been a tough race. Oh, sorry, 7 to go even. I thought there was 6. I was wrong. It's 7 to go. My maths just suck. I tell you what, Norris is not pulling away now by as much as he was. So, like I said, if there's going to be a drop-off in the soft tyre, this is it. It's now. It's right here, right now. that we're going to start noticing it. So far, Norris still pulling away, but the amount he's pulling away by is starting to just get that little bit less now. Keep up the good work. Norris won't win at all. We'll have to see, we'll have to see. I think he might just have enough in his pocket, but we shall see. Either way, P2, still a very good result. Ooh, that was close to the wall. And now Magnussen has really caught up with Perez, so I imagine they'll be having their battle soon enough. And Magnussen will get his way up ahead of Perez. He tried that time. I think they must be going for it. They just lost a couple of attempts. I say Norris wasn't pulling away by as much, but he's just gained 7/10 in the first half of this lap. Norris, I think, is clear. But the good news is Verstappen could be held up by the next line of cars behind me. So I don't think, even if Verstappen moves up to third, I don't think Max is a threat to me. And look at Magnussen and Perez. Look how close they are now.
You're pulling out a second a lap on the car behind. Really good stuff.
I don't really care about the car behind. I'm more worried about the car in front, but I've never seen Checo in podium position. I mean, he's got 6 race wins to his name, so he has won, and actually he won round here, actually. I think it was 2022, so although Leclerc got very close. Well, we've got 5 laps to go now, and if anything is going to happen, it has to happen soon. And Magnussen's still not getting clear of Perez, which could be crucial in his aim to get third in this race. Verstappen could still be on for that podium, but he's now being held up by the cars behind. But, well, the cars behind me. Norris, meanwhile, still storming away out front. Nothing slowing him down, is there? What's the pit rejoin position? 15th, right. So even if we do get a last-minute safety car, there's no sense in pitting. So I don't really want to drop down the order that much. I'm surprised that we haven't seen a safety car in this race. Or a red flag. Like, usually Singapore, you think there's usually some kind of intervention during the race, but there's been none of that here. It's just been straight through, all the way, no drama, just a straight run. Right, this is interesting. Lando's not really pulling away anymore. And Magnussen's got ahead of Perez. Magnussen has jumped Perez. That's critical for him. So Magnussen getting clear of Perez. He now needs to get as clear of Perez as he can. And maybe he'll have a chance of holding on to P3 if Verstappen comes at him. Norris gains 4 tenths in the mid-sector. But he's not gaining as much anymore. Yeah, great clean racing, thank you. Alright, got 3 laps to go now. Norris has stopped pulling away, but I think it is a case of too little, too late start gaining on him. That was the right strategy to run.
Okay, so we're leading
Can
our teammate
Magnussen
by
stay
32.4
clear
seconds.
of Perez? Taking a sip of my drink. I think Perez will have DRS from Magnussen, so that's going to protect Magnussen's podium position for another lap. Although Verstappen's going for him. No, I think, yeah, that's protected. That's helped out Magnussen for a lap. And I'm sure he'll be grateful for that. And Magnussen has now got clear of Perez's DRS. But Perez does try to bring him back in. Reel him back in for the straight. I tell you what, it's going to be a last lap battle between Magnussen and Verstappen, I reckon. As we now start the penultimate lap, lap 61. And normally this race would go for 61 laps before they took out the complex. I got a subscriber now, thank you so much, I really appreciate that. I appreciate you keeping me company throughout the race. Right, let's now finish this off. Norris is definitely way too far ahead now, even if he does have drop off. I think the right call was to go medium, medium, soft, instead of doing soft, medium, medium like I did. But you know, you've got to try different strategies. I feel like you don't know unless you really try. Verstappen has now got clear of Perez, so is Verstappen going to rob Magnussen of a podium for Haas here? I'll tell you what, that's going to be very close. I will keep an eye on, as close of an eye on that for you as possible. There's a fact of it, there's a point of interest going into the last lap. Perez has really dropped off here. So we will be taking a few points off of Verstappen, but none off Norris, so we're still not really doing enough to put ourselves in the championship hunt yet. But
let's go. Final lap.
This result will certainly help get us towards the Ferraris. Get us closer to the top 3. In fact, I think Verstappen's too far behind Magnussen to go for that one. So I think Magnussen might be safe for a podium here. As we are now finally on the last lap, Pierre Gasly is out of the race. Gasly is out of the race. There's your last minute drama. It's Pierre Gasly. Nothing to do with us, as I have a bit of a lock-up. Norris so clear now. I'm not sure what my car number is. I'd have to... I can never remember what I went for.
Caution, caution.
We got a yellow flag here. There's Gasly off to the side. That's not going to cause any real drama. And Verstappen getting so close to Magnussen now. This will be A last lap fight for them. I really hope for Magnussen's sake he can hold it. Lando Norris, though, comfortably winning this Singapore Grand Prix. A good drive by Lando, great strategy. But for us, P2, a fantastic result. I can't complain about that one.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
And here he comes. It's all go, go, go for Lando Norris as he takes the checker flag and wins.
It's one thing to put fast laps together, but to make these moves stick without losing too much time, that's real racecraft.
Our winning drivers are on their way to the podium right now. It's been a fantastic race for McLaren, that's for sure. And no doubt, they'll be celebrating tonight.
Thank you, Jason. Yeah, Magnussen did get the podium. Thank you, Chase. P2, I'll happily take that. Oh, my days. That was long. That was long and tiring. But that's P2. A result, I think, to be very happy with.
Well,
how long did that race take? Results weekend. Yeah, I know Norris won. Let's have a look at the race results. An hour and 40 minutes that took. So Lando Norris winning out in the end. We got second. Kevin Magnussen, take a bow. P3, great job. Verstappen gets fourth. Perez gets fifth. Yeah, I couldn't even say that right. Perez gets fifth. Leclerc sixth. Tsunoda seventh. Russell eighth. Piastri, wow, that's a surprise to find him so far down. In ninth, he was second at one point. And Alonso rounds out the top 10 in P10. So with that said and done, let's have a look at how that affects the championship. Lando Norris moves to within 3 points of Max Verstappen. This is getting close in the main fight. And then behind you've got the scrap for third at the moment, which is Leclerc, myself, Piastri and Sainz. Then Perez is a few further points behind, Russell in 8th, and then it's Alonso and Hamilton 9th and 10th, with Magnussen moving into 11th with that podium. I can't believe I watched the full thing. First time watching a full race. Well, I'm glad you stuck it out, mate. Glad you stuck it out. But yeah, those are your championship standings moving forward. Next race will be next Wednesday. I haven't decided on a time yet, but as and when I do, that'll be on. I'll announce them on my Facebook page, JoeH2OYT, if you want to follow me on there. And here are the constructors' standings. McLaren moving into the lead, Red Bull second, Ferrari third, and we move up into fourth. So that was a great race. That was long but enjoyable, and in the end, rewarding with P2. So let's see what the next track will be. I think that's Bahrain. If I've got that right, the next track will be
the cars are about
Bahrain.
to take to track for the very first time here in Bahrain, so plenty for the teams and drivers to learn during practice.
So next time out,
the Sakhir International Circuit.
The Equal Car Championship takes to the Bahrain circuit. All that remains to be said then is thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe for more content from me. Until the next time, I've been Joe, TTFN, ta-ta for now, take care, enjoy the rest of your day.